Good morning, everyone. Thank you a lot for voting my presentation. So, Wi-Fi hacking in 2025, main trends and insights, and most especially, how to profit from it. So, just a little bit about me. I've been working in the industry for around 9 years or so, 3 years and a half doing just pen testing. I still do pen testing of wireless networks. So before this talk, I was auditing many networks before presenting to you guys. So talk about the purpose of this talk. The purpose of this talk is just to let you guys know about something that is going on, and it's going on for sure, but that you might not probably know about. And that said, what still works and what doesn't in the pen testing community. And before we begin, today we're not going to talk about any of these attacks. I think that Jennifer mentioned them in her presentation: crack attacks, crook, frag attacks. All these attacks caused a lot of commotion in the wireless community when they were first released. But the code was never really publicly available for most of the hackers, so nobody is doing this, and most of the vulnerabilities have been patched already. So instead, we're going to focus on some attacks as old as Fernet, as old as Wi-Fi, fake captive portals, and downgrade attacks. There's also the man-in-the-middle attacks. We have a high success rate. You can do DNS spoofing if the clients connect to your evil access point. But we're not talking about that one because it's going to take a long time for that one to be explained. So 2 main topics then: fake captive portals and how this works for the general public. So I think that yesterday it was Eva Santos. She was talking about ways to monetize Wi-Fi, and what you guys gotta know is for the regular individual, if you're prompted with social login and you're being asked to use an email and a password to access to the Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi isn't really public. You're paying with your data, you're paying with your social credentials, and so. But overall, that's not what worries me about. You see, I have many ISPs as clients, and for some reason, there is this trend in Latin America and in the US where, ISPs are doing Passpoint, but there are several ISPs which also provide public Wi-Fi networks to their clients. And in those public Wi-Fi networks, the only thing that is prohibiting you the access is just these captive portals. And what I came to notice is that many ISPs, many ISPs, they have also stores, online stores where you can purchase like Hulu, Disney Plus, or even physical assets that you build to your phone company. And that's what's worrying me about, because I have had over the last year more than 20 clients that have complained about this schema of scams happening to their clients. And you see, guys, when you place a public Wi-Fi, you gotta make sure that there is some kind of two-factor authentication in the ISP stores, because otherwise, public Wi-Fi and captive portals are just so easy to hack, are just so easy to clone. And people, if they see that it looks like it, they are going to fall for it. So this is happening a lot. It's happening a lot in Latin America. This is a regular day for me. I was in the center of Mexico City, just roaming around with my pen testing kit, and I was able to gather just way too many credentials for me to believe, more than 100 in a single day. These are actual user credentials. Of course, I'm censoring the emails, but yeah, people still fall for captive portals, fake captive portals. And it's a major trend that is happening mostly in the US and Latin America. The other day, talking with Kit Parsons in the Wireless LAN Professionals of Colombia, he mentioned to me, yeah, but people could just input fake credentials. And that's true for sure, but did you know that you can program captive portals to fail the first 2 times? And if you do that, the chances of succeeding, of people thinking that it's the real deal, increases a lot, just like 30% or so. Then, what worries me the most is that not only there's still a lot of fake captive portals in the wild, but if you give a hacker your email, just your email, there are a ton of side attacks that can be performed. Like, for example, here I'm using Sherlock, which is a Kali Linux app, just to know what other accounts are associated to the email. Also, there are hackers that can purchase password leak databases and get the password anyway, even if you are using many passwords in your accounts. If your password was leaked and you don't change it regularly, it's pretty easy to to get access to your network. Yeah, so the all wardriving kit. This is the way I used to do pen testing in the past. I still do it. And if you know me, you will probably see me carrying a Uber backpack, which has stuff with a bunch of Wi-Fi pineapples inside, and Raspberry Pis, and cellular modems. This was the way I used to do Wi-Fi pen testing in the past, and you will see me working with the Uber backpack. But now, and what worries me is that the setup has become 10 times easier to carry. Now we have options like NetHunter in Kali Linux, which is my preferable option. And you wouldn't believe how far this thing reaches. If I was in a coffee shop with a mobile phone battery, I could stay there all day just attacking and searching how many people will try to attempt to join the coffee shop. So that aside, I wanted to talk to you about something else, which is the other main way of attackers to accessing to enterprise networks. This is the most important attack that I wanted to talk to you about. And it's an attack that is older than me. It's way too old. It started in DEF CON 2013. And what you guys gotta know is that enterprise networks have 2 flavors. They either have a user and a password, or they have a certificate. And I think that Jennifer was talking about this yesterday. So there are a bunch of legacy IP protocols that can still be used, like the ones highlighted here in blue, IP MD5, IP PAP, IP GTC. Those protocols are way too easy to decrypt, my friends. If you're using this in your enterprise, you probably have to change the way your authentication works. So over the past 2 years, I've been auditing Cisco ICE implementations, and for some reason, several people still enable these protocols, which are way too easy to decipher. And what they don't probably know, and what's the problema, mi amigo, is that Wi-Fi is just doing its work, and there is a vulnerability that was never, ever patched, which is this vulnerability of WPA2, WPA downgrade attacks, and works. It works all the time. The way it works is the following. If you set a pineapple, a fake access point, and you do a karma attack, which is mostly pretending to be the enterprise the enterprise access points, you can control the way clients authenticate. So if you set up a fake access point, and this fake access point listens to a client that is searching for a network, and that client thinks that the access point is the real deal, you can control the way the client is authenticating. And going back a little, if you place a fake access point, and that fake access point is is using any of these protocols like IP-MD5, IP-PUB, IP-GTC, even though you have tunnels that carry the credentials safely to the clients, whenever you enable these protocols, the ones that are easy to decrypt, you're basically allowing anyone to clone your access points. And by doing so, you can negotiate the way they send the credentials to you. So if a client thinks that you're the access point and you're the real deal, they're going to try to connect through IPMS chat, but you can tell them, no way, my amigo, I don't understand what you're talking about. If you want to access to my network, you have to connect through GTC. And let me just move forward. If you control the authentication and you move the clients to unsecure methods of IP, you can get their credentials every time in clear text. It's very, very easy. Setting evil twin access points is very easy. And the thing that it's going to do most all is that there is active scanning, there is prompting. Whenever a client hear that there is a network that they know, they're going to try to authenticate. And if you set up an evil twin access point, that evil twin access point can control the way the clients authenticate. So if they go by IP-GTC, IP-PUB, or again, any of the methods here in blue, their credentials are going to be shared with the evil twin access point in clear text. Doesn't matter if there is a PIP tunnel or a TTLS tunnel, as long as the attacker pretends to be the access point, he can control the tunnel, and whatever is in the tunnel, he can see it because he's controlling the evil twin access point. So, what about MS-CHAP credentials? Well, I think that it was just Jennifer was saying that you can probably use MS-CHAP credentials, but the thing with MS-CHAP is that the users are never encrypted. Even users are never encrypted, so you can probably just search for the password somewhere else. And what worries me the most is that there are several of these companies, ISPs, that are implementing public Wi-Fi with enterprise authentication methods, and it's just the way. It's the same way for fake active portals and for enterprise network to be hacked nowadays. You just need to search for the user database that has the credentials. And what I came to notice while doing these kinds of audits is that because most companies share their Active Directory with all the employees from the enterprise, is that even SSH is doomed, because if the IT guy is working at the same company, you're probably getting some SSH credentials, and if there is no two-factor authentication, you can access the wireless network and even further services each time. And now, with these kinds of devices, it's become way easier to set up this kind of attack just by using a regular phone. So just to close the talk, some advices I wanted to give you. If you're not implementing WIPs at your company, you should probably do so. It's still very easy for all hackers to access networks that have WPA3 credentials. If you're not implementing a rotatory password policy, you should probably do so. Also, if you're using services like Cisco ISE or Aruba ClearPass, you should probably just disable the other IP methods that are legacy and that we shouldn't be using anymore. And yeah, don't enable Active Directory SSH credentials anymore, because it creates so many dangers. That's it from my side.